you know, most of the time we're not seeing lighting, we're seeing the thing that the light is falling on. You know what I mean? You're seeing the object, not the lighting shadows on it. Sometimes we notice it, but most of the time we're not conscious of it, especially. So, does everyone know why the sky is blue? Light is coming from the sun, it's hitting our atmosphere, and the atmosphere has been behaving just like a lens. You know, essentially light in vacuum is not going to bend or things like that. You can still reflect it, but when it hits a denser material, whether it's water, glass, or a diamond or whatever, it's going to bend. And how much it bends depends on what color it is, which is also its wavelength. They found that there's a lot more energy in blue light, for instance, than there is in red. That's why light being this much of the entire electromagnetic spectrum, shit over here will fucking destroy you. Like, that's what you're getting from an atomic bomb and everything. And those things will flow right through you. There's a couple things you can do with light. You can reflect it like a mirror. You can refract it like a stick going in the water and bending. You can scatter it, which is like just shooting a bunch of balls at something and they hit it and bounce off and go different directions. But diffraction is like when you have breakers in a bay, which is like when you'll build up stones in a bay where there's ocean coming in, and they'll come in and kind of close it in to cut off waves. So if you guys look closely at like a bead of water before, you notice what it's doing? Like, what do you see through the dew when you look at it? It's like the lens. It is a lens. It's absolutely a lens. And the cool thing is, if you look at your dew and you try and find out what the radius of it is, it's like a millimeter maybe. That is the focal length of that lens. So usually when you go to a lighting class, they'll be like, this is your key light, this is your backlight, this is your fill light. It's a nice way to learn, but where you really should be starting is that everything is a light source. And so you can light people just by using a black surface. That's called negative fill. Name doesn't matter. You're using it to increase contrast. You have a light here, and it's still too low contrast here. You bring in a black piece, and that'll absorb light. Essentially, all it's really doing, aside from absorbing light, is blocking the brighter reflections you might have that direction. Okay? So in terms of dimensions of light, you can have hard light, and you can have soft light. You guys know what the difference is between those two? So, this is a hard light source right here. See the shadow that my finger is throwing? It's very sharp. Okay, so a hard source will get a sharp shadow like that. Closer, closer, closer. Do you guys see the difference in the shadow? Back it up a little so it's filling the paper. See that? That is soft. Okay. Can you guys tell me what the difference is between the two? Why one shadow is crisp and the other isn't?
Light's coming in from more sides.
More sides, exactly.
Bouncing off.
Exactly. So, you know, the easy way to explain it is that the larger the source is, the softer the light is. But you can take this and let's move it back a meter. Keep going, keep going, keep going. It's getting harder. You see what I mean? It's the same size source, but it's large relative to the subject. That's what's important. If you have something really little, you could make a really little extended light and it would be like a huge soft light, as long as it's close. So it's the relationship between the subject and the light source, and how big the light source is, which means how many angles it can come in from. So that's troubleshooting when it comes to lighting your artwork. Paintings, you want them to look like they look to you, I think, when you paint them. So in that case, you're minimizing things. But with sculpture, you may want to highlight stuff like Nadine. I know you lit your stuff in that one piece, and it was cool. You're able to get all of the color in the piece just from the light.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And the thing is, I once had an exhibition.
Yeah.
They put the light on a certain source.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I worked with that light.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they decided to put the light somewhere else.
Oh no!
Was,
Everything changed.
It was.
Yeah.
It was really horrible.
Yes. Experiment with one candle, with two candles, and with three candles. And also, yeah.
You want to come in the front this time when I
Light us up. Use anywhere from 1 to 3 candles. So that's balanced. See? Yeah, now the lighting.
also change the...
Thank you, sorry. Just the top. If you want to highlight the hair, if the hair is disappearing into the background, you can put one high, behind, side behind. Play with how that reflects too. Like, you know, and then if you're on camera and you see something. This one?
Yeah.
This is good.
Wow, this one's looking very...
Really, really weird.